Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, what's going on out there today? Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of the Tennis Mindset Project. Hope you're having a great day so far, wherever you are. I am here in the California desert, Southern California, Rancho Mirage. God, here we are, May 13th. Heating up. Yesterday hit 100. Today, high, I think 99 today, so it's starting to cook. But fortunately, as you can see in the background here, we got some grass courts here, which, unlike the hard courts, get good and toasty. These don't, right? So the grass courts really absorb a lot of the heat. Just feels like you can play all day out there. Soft on the body, not quite as hot. Anyway, all good. So listen, here's what I've got for you today. Is the short message. Is it really worth the effort? Because what if? And this thought held me back for so long until I finally got sick and tired of asking myself this question that I just said, screw it. I'm going to stop asking this question and start doing something about it. And really what it was, is it really worth the effort? Because I already had a plan laid out. I already knew I wanted to become one of the top guys in my age group year in, year out. And I was pretty close, but, and I was putting in some work, but I wasn't doing everything that I could possibly do, right? I wasn't really hitting on all cylinders in terms of the practice stuff. You know, I kind of think there's five pillars. Number one is swing tech, right? Technique. Are we doing too much? I mean, should we actually be trying to pare away, P-A-R-E, pare away stuff so that we become a lot more consistent, a lot more sustainable with swing technique? Number two, tactics. I really used to think a lot about, well, I'm just going to go play my game. And too often playing my game was just feeding the belly of the beast over there. They were just better at that thing that I was. And so, I really wasn't trying to figure out, well, what are they good at? Okay, we'll avoid that. What are they not good at, or what are they average at? Let's just give them a steady diet of that and work from there. Number three, fitness. Fitness, I was pretty good. The kitchen, all that kind of stuff. Was eating right, doing a lot of all the fitness drills that I think are really specific for tennis that are good. So I think that part of the fundamentals I was good at. The fourth thing is experiences. Was I playing enough tournaments? Well, as I answer this question here, probably not enough tournaments. I was sort of cherry picking ones that I thought that I would have a better chance at. And you just can't do that. I mean, you've just got to keep showing up over and over and over again at all the different events. And things eventually go your way. Maybe not all the time, obviously, but you can't really stand back and just cherry pick one tournament every 6 months because you think, well, I'm really good on that surface or whatever. And the other thing was I was getting too comfy with my practice matches being pretty much the same guy, pretty much the same place, pretty much the same court, the same time of the week, all that kind of stuff. I really wasn't getting out and practicing with guys over at places where maybe it was just like, wasn't ideal, right? Could have been a public park where the place hadn't been resurfaced in 25 years, right? A lot of noise going on. But, look, the reality is you go out and you play some tournaments sometimes and they send you away to play a off-site match and maybe it's not the greatest, situation. So I needed to do more of that. And then, of course, the mental stuff, the fifth part for me, I really was just really wasn't. I got a panting dog behind me here. Just came back from I think a run out there. Anyway, if you hear that, that's her. But I just wasn't doing a deep enough dive in the mental part of the game. And so finally got into that and realized now I got the phone ringing. Hold on for 1 second. It's all happening at the same time. I will get back to you in just a second here. Anyway, so yeah, the mental part, did a deep dive on that, got a lot better. And but still, I was asking this question. Well, I don't think I think once I started to all five of those things I just mentioned, once I decided I had to get really good at each one of those things, was after I answered this question, which is it really worth the effort in terms of trying to become a better player? Because what if I don't? Right? What if I put in all this time? What if I hit on all those five things I just mentioned, all those five pillars of what I think you need to do to be a really top player, and at least wherever you are right now, continue to become a better player. And look, I for a long time I just said, God, that would suck, wouldn't it? I've worked my ass off here and I'm no better. It didn't pay off, right? I didn't get any better. I'm not good enough or whatever. Maybe I don't really understand. Whatever. But at some point, I just said, you know what? I just don't believe that's possible. I was thinking intellectually here. I don't think it's possible that if I do all five things and I do them around people who have already been to that place I want to go to or are already there, players who are already there, I just don't see how I can, at worst case, become better. And so I just kind of threw away that question. I stopped asking myself that question because of the what if part. What if I don't get better? And I just said, screw it, I'm going to go for it. And then I just nailed all five of those pillars of what I think you've got to do to become a better player. And it paid off. It paid off big time. 2023 was a dream year for me. Never had anything like that before. And that was because I stopped asking this question, is this really going to be worth the effort that I'm going to have to put in, the perceived effort, because I've never really done it all before. Because what if it doesn't work? What if I still am the same? And so if that's a question you're asking yourself, then what I would tell you is go through that list that I just mentioned of those five things. Number one is going to be swing tech. Are you overcomplicating it? Right? Are you going out there on YouTube trying to find, well, what's the latest and greatest thing, little nugget about how to get more topspin, right? And all of that usually means, well, you got to get a little bit more complicated with the swing tech. Stay away from that, right? If you think that that's going to be the thing that's going to help you win matches, it's not. The thing that's going to help you win matches is, are you one of those guys when the match is over, the guy comes off the court after you've just beat him and the guy tells his buddies, man, he just never missed a ball. Well, what is he, a pusher? No, well, no, he's not a pusher. He hit the ball clean, but he never missed a ball. And so that's the kind of reputation you want to have out there. You want to be so consistent that when you make an unforced error, it's like, oh, okay, well that was weird, right? The second thing is tactics, right? Are you figuring out this question, who's doing what to whom? Are you figuring out, are you probing what that guy's really good at? Usually it's pretty obvious early part of the match, and then deciding, all right, well, I'm not going to be stubborn and see if I can overcome that thing he's good at. I mean, why would you do that? It just makes more sense. Take what they give you, and if they're not giving, if they're saying to you, well, okay, my forehand's really pretty good, but my backhand's average, fine. Let's go ahead and work over the backhand and see what we get from there. The third thing is fitness, right? If you're just, I mean, I know a lot of guys who are super fit, spend a lot of time in the gym, but they're not working on fitness in terms of tennis specific fitness, right? And so you got to get real about that. And I think there are a few guys out there who love the gym so much just because of the look that they create in how they look, the bodies look, but it doesn't really translate well in terms of tennis specific stuff. Their endurance is not great. They haven't spent a lot of time on the cardio or the anaerobic stuff where you're doing some sprints after every one of your practice matches or practice sessions, doing 5, 6, 7 sprints, from fence to fence, doing some other plyometric stuff that makes you quicker, faster. And then, the fourth thing then are going to be experiences, right? Are you still playing the same guys, the same day of the week, the same time, probably on the same court? And you got to get out of your comfy confines at least once a week. You got to mix things up, right? Because when you go play events and tournaments, which is another part of the experiences in terms of becoming a better player, is obviously you're going to have different conditions, right? You're not going to be at the comfy confines of your club or your facility. You're going to be somewhere else. You don't know where the tournament, where they're going to send you. Might be a beautiful club, but they send you over by the parking lot, right? Or they send you over by the kids' pool, right? You're on court 17. It's right next to the kiddies' pool. They're screaming and yelling, right? Are they going to shut up if you say, hey, man, I'm playing a match over here? Ha ha. Well, they don't care, right? So you gotta get out there and kind of desensitize yourself to different conditions. And then finally, the mental part of the game. Are you really figuring out the mental part? And look, for the next thing I'm going to offer you here is how to get into my free between points routine course, 4 parts between points routine. That's the way to start. If you can manage 80% of the match, 80% of the match is spent between points, right? It's not playing points. So we have a whole bunch of time during the match when we can have some really bad thinking, and we got to get really clear on what we do between points, what we think about on between points, and on side changes. All right, that's a start with the mental part. And if you get really, really good at those 5 things, okay, you can stop asking yourself this question. Hey, is it really worth it? Is it going to be really worth the effort here? Because what if I don't get any better? Well, if you do those 5 things and they're specific for tennis, guess what? You can't help but get better. It's going to be a down the hill freight train at some point where you won't be able to stop the improvement curve, right? So, all right, look, hope this has been helpful today. As I just mentioned, my 5 mindset skills, habit training, one of the 5, I want to give it to you at no cost. It's my 4 step-by-step between points routine. And for me, it really has made a huge difference. It's very specific, and I'm disciplined to doing it now between every stinking point in the match and on side changes. And for me, it helps me consistently play at the top of my skill level point after point. You can go over to webtennis.com, just drop in a first name and email address, and you'll get access to that free. It's a private video, about 20-minute video, but it is free for you, webtennis.com. Guys, hope this has been helpful today. Any comments, any questions, remarks, feedback? Down below in the comments area, let me know. Or if you want to keep the conversation private, more than welcome to. Just go on over to, or just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. It is time. It's that time. We got to get out there. We got to help someone else today. Have a great day. Guys, see you again next time.